numerous Viennas. This is a simple practice routine that you can use with your U9s and U10s, and it's super effective. This was taught to me by a coach named Tom Turnbull out of I want to say Plainfield, New Jersey. This is 20 plus years ago. So the format is ball mastery, dribbling sequences, a juggling game called the barrel game, and then he would finish with 1v1 to cones. Each player would play another player, and then you have to knock each other's cones over with a small ball. The way that you can learn, right, so one more time, ball mastery, dribbling sequences, a juggling game called the barrel game, and then 1v1 to cones. And you could do each thing 15 minutes respectively to create a 1 hour session that's repeatable, it's easy to learn, and it's fun and easy to teach. So you can learn ball mastery progression through Cover Coaching, the app, COERVER. He also has a YouTube channel, and the pattern is each practice you learn one move, and then the next practice you review the move from the practice before, and then you learn another move. So by the end of the season, you could maybe learn between 25 and 50 skills moves depending on how many practices you have. From there, you could go right into dribbling sequences, right? You learn one move, 10 minutes, everyone, they dribble, then they do the move, right? So it could be dribble, L move, dribble, L move, dribble, L move. So then by the end of the season, you can say, okay, everyone show me your L move. Everyone show me your chop. Now everyone show me your Cruyff. Everyone show me your drag. You know, right? It's a progression. So they should have all the skills, or a lot of skills mastered by the end of the season if you're consistent with it. Next thing you go right into is dribbling sequences. This sequence was taught to me by Tom Turnbull, and I used it when I coached my middle school team, which was roughly about the same age as your players. So the one that he taught us that I've taught players of all ages for the past 10, 15 years, it's called, well, I call it the Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence because it was the first one he taught us, and it goes like this. You go outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, inside. And the key is you want to have the kids say it out loud when they do it. When they say it out loud when they do it, it helps establish a mind-body connection, and it helps them internalize it. And what dribbling sequences really help do is allow players to develop an awareness while they're dribbling in an effortless way, where it allows them to not think about dribbling so that they could just dance around defenders on the field. A lot of players will try and go too fast, right? So sometimes it's good to tell them slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? Tell them take their time, outside, inside, outside, inside. So in middle school, from that middle school team, I would have my players do a lap around the field. After we did ball mastery, I'd have them do a lap around the field doing that same sequence. And then the next practice I would have, after we did ball mastery, I'd have them run in the opposite direction, just so they didn't get into some type of just get too comfortable with the same direction. But you can, depending on the number of players on your team, you could squeeze them all into the 18-yard box, right, to force them to have to navigate against each other and to create a little bit of chaos that they have to deal with, and that'll improve their dribbling. So there's kind of some different variations that you could do. The barrel game, right into the barrel game. Barrel game is the challenge is you juggle a ball starting from the hands, right? You encircle a barrel or a garbage can. If there's no barrel by your soccer field or no garbage can, you could invest in a $20 brute barrel from, you get one on Amazon for $20. And the goal is everyone juggles the ball into the barrel using different parts of their body. So with Tom Turnbull, the progression that he taught us was right foot with a bounce, left foot with a bounce, both feet alternating with a bounce. So kick, bounce, kick, in, something like that. And then right thigh with a bounce, left thigh with a bounce, both feet alternating with or without, both thighs alternating with or without a bounce, and then finally finishing with any body part you want with or without a bounce. And why this game is great is because players who are much better, they can start from further away, they can remove the bounce. Players who are more beginner, they can come closer to the barrel and they can use a bounce. So it really scales great for players of different abilities. You want to let the players go at their own pace, right? You want to it's ideal if you can demonstrate what it looks like, but it's not necessary, but it is super helpful if you can do the full progression even from very close, right? So you think middle of the park, u9, u10 players, maybe some are okay, maybe some could do it, maybe some can't, but you got to be the best judge. You got to be the best judge where they should start, right? If they've never played the game before, they might not know where to start, but you want to err on the side of closer rather than further. You want to make the game accomplishable and challenging. If it's too hard up front, you won't create a nice you won't create a positive spiral, right? You got to make it challenging but within reason. I trained a girl over the summer. She's a goalkeeper who is just developing her skills and abilities, and we were one step away from the barrel, right? I wanted her to feel what a positive touch felt like, and I wanted her to feel like what succeeding in the game looked like. So it created positive emotion when you get the ball into the barrel. But some players will be able to go through the whole progression, and some players will be stuck on left foot with a bounce, let's say. So you got to let them go at their own pace because each player is unique, and they all have their own skill set and abilities. From there, we go right into 1v1 with cones. You could set up, you want the cones, right? You might have to invest in this, or you could use, if you have an optimal surplus of soccer balls, you could use soccer balls, but most coaches have some tall cones, or they're cheap to just get a pack of cones, right? So you set up cones on the sideline, right? Because the sideline makes it an easy, natural line. So a couple yards apart, you set up cones, and then you mirror the same cones. You mirror the same cones a few yards the opposite direction, maybe towards the field or away from the field, so you don't chew up the field. And then you have the players play against each other, try and knock each other's cone over, 1v1. And then you could say 3 games, 5 minutes each, right? Players play each other, and then after 5 minutes, they play someone else, and then they switch one more time. So 3 games of 5 for 15 minutes, quick cool down, and that's a session, right? So I went to Tom Turnbull for years, and we would do the same variation of practice every single practice. It was the same structure, and it was just so much fun. And then I noticed that when I taught this to my middle school team, I saw one of the parents in the spring, and he said that he could noticeably see the difference of the quality. He said the players, when they were playing on whatever spring team, they looked really good, and then that some of the things that we're doing were really helpful. So he thanked me for that. So I think this is something that after doing this when I first started going to Tom Turnbull, I was the worst player on my team, and the following season I scored more goals than the whole team combined. So this is a time-tested practice routine that I've learned, that I've used on a middle school team, and whenever I do personal training sessions, this is the same routine that I do with young players, because it's teaching fundamentals through skills games, right? It's just fundamentals and skills games. So hopefully some of these ideas help. Reach out with any questions. All right.